Welcome to Actual Scale Modelling. This is part 1 of Airfix's Supermarine Spitfire Mk1a. Scale is 1 to 72. Now, this build is going to be a part of a series build that I'm going to be doing for a diorama. So I've got the Hurricane, I've got the Spitfire, you see here, and I've got a couple of trucks from the refueling set. But for now, we'll just go through the Spitfire. I think this is one of the older kits from Airfix. The parts are fairly simple. There's only those two sprues that you see here. It's a very small model, and most people can get this built in a day, really, without any much problems. Now, when I build this, I'm not going to be going into too much detail because these things have been done to death on YouTube and so on. So it's just going to be showing me building the aircraft. So the sprues are nice and clean. There's not too many bits of flash on them. The decals here are just your standard decals there. There is only one variant, so nothing too complicated for the build itself. Initially I was thinking about D-Day, but of course this is far earlier version and this plane did not fly in D-Day. So that puts a cover to that idea. The instructions are nicely laid out, nice and clear. As I said, there's not much to them at all. That was a standard, but the kit doesn't come with a stand, and you know it's just purely basic. It's one for the purists, this, as in, and one for the beginners. It's a really nice little kit to get yourself going if you've never built anything like this before. So I've been washed all the parts, and I'm starting with the cockpit pilot. So that's 29 dark brown is the main block colour for the figure, and it's Umbro 78 cockpit green for the landing gear compartments. So it's just again a block colour. All this stage at the moment is just basically colouring in. I'm attending to use the same paint on the sprues all in one go. This just saves a bit of time. So any part that needs the same colour, well, I've got the paint out, I'm just painting it in that colour. I'm using Umbro's 24 Trainer Yellow for the tips of the props. Now, I had a look at some photographs. Some have the yellow tips on the props, some don't. So I decided to put them in. I don't know whether this is going to be accurate or not, but I do like the yellow tip on it, so I've decided to do that. The spinner is Umbro 90 Beige. It is a different colour to the main fuselage. Some of these I've seen red as well, so again I'm not 100% sure of the exact colour, but the illustrations and the instructions are calling for this colour. This will also be the majority for the underside of the aircraft as well. So that's the underside getting painted now. As I said, this is just the bulk colours I'm putting in. I'm not putting any finesse at this point because a lot of this paint probably will get damaged. It's just the way I like doing things. Then it's on to Umbro 33 Matte Black. Now this is only for this side of the wing. Again, I'm not sure why only half the wing is painted black. There must be a reason behind it, but I'm not sure. Then it's the same colour for the props as well. I'm not bothered masking taping this off, I'm just doing the line by eye. Onto the cockpit in its first decal. The colour is a 78 cockpit green by Umbro. I did use another extra couple of colours on the pilot, which I'll go through now. The first colour is Umbro 83 Awkward, then 33 Black, and then 30 dark green. Now the ochre is for the life jacket, the black is for the boots, and the green is for the trousers. Now for the first construction of the cockpit, the back frame gets cemented onto the foot plate. Now I have painted this, but there's really no need to paint this whatsoever because you will not see it at all once it's inserted into the model. The same with the control stick as well. If you want to leave it off or not paint it, it's entirely up to you because you really won't see it. And then the instrument panel goes onto the front. It's a fairly basic construction, as I said. The seats, which I'm placing on here, they sit on 4 little pins on the rear part of the frame. So once that's constructed, I can pop in the pilot. So when it goes in, you'll be able to see that you really can't see the feet or the legs, or indeed the control area for the rudders and that. So it's all completely enclosed. So there really is no point in painting it unless you prefer to do it. I do prefer to do it for some strange reason, but there is no point in painting it really. Before I place the fuselage together, I'm just testing out the colours on the paint, and it also gives me a good area just to paint in some of the markings. Because I do this by hand, sometimes I'll use masking tape, sometimes I won't. I find it better just to paint them in before I bond the two halves together. It's just for ease on my part. The main colour here I'm using is the Umbro 30 dark green. Once the paint's dry, it's time to pop in the cockpit capsule. There's a couple of nice little location points for this to sit in. The prop has to go in at this stage if you want it to be free moving, but it is a simple construction of the back plate going in on with the shaft. If there is very small points where you can cement this if you want the thing to move, as I said. So you have to be quite careful where you're putting the cement. Then once it's made up, it just sits inside the nose part of the fuselage. There's a nice little cradle for it to sit in. It shouldn't cause you too much problems to line it up. And then I was able to button up the fuselage. I did place it under a couple of light clamps, but it's not really necessary. You can just hold it for about 5 minutes and it'll be strong enough to move on to the next process. Now it's onto the canopy, and I'm using the 30 dark green by Umbro once more for the canopy lines. And as you're well aware now, if you watch my videos, I hardly ever mask my canopies. I just do this by eye. The fuselage is dry now, so I can put on the bottom half. That just slots in. You can see where it goes in. It just clips in. It can be a little bit tight and awkward just because it sort of bends. I'm slightly off camera here. I do apologise. You can see at the back there, it sort of lifts up a little bit. But I just held it in position with a couple of clamps until it's set. Then once it was dried, it was just a case of putting on the top wings. They just pushed on beautifully. There was no gapping issues. Again, you can clamp this or you can just hold it. And it was the same with the opposite wing, of course. Now it's time to fit the undercarriage. The wheels I painted the hubcap in 11 silver by Umbro, and the wheel itself is 33 matte black by Umbro also. The construction of these are nice and simple. The wheel just pops onto the strut, and as you can see, I've painted the strut in the same colour as the underside. Now I'm going to be placing these wheels on now. However, I should point out I'm actually going to be taking these off. But this is but because of the diorama I'm going to be placing this in to, you know, but they're just on there so that I can see how it sits. So the next part to go on is where the air intake, but that's what I think it is. There's a small clear part that goes right in the centre, as well as another intake. I'm sure that's what they are, some sort of air intake. Now that I can, once they're on, I can then place on the landing gear themselves. There's just small little location points for these to fit into. It's quite a tight fit, which is good, because once they're in place, it's easy enough to set. And then putting on the canopy, and I'm using micro crystal clear for this. So it's time to do the main painting, and the brown is 29 Dark Earth by Umbro. And as you can see, I'm doing this by eye. I'm not worrying about any masking tape for this camouflage pattern. And then for the other colour, it's Umbro 30 Dark Green. So I'm just tracing the lines that I've already done with the brown paint, and just painting up to it and gradually releasing the pressure on the brush. Not there's a lot of pressure on the brush anyway as I come up to my line, and that avoids any harsh borders. So that's the first coat on. I'll probably need another coat before I go on. But before I'll do that, I'm just going to place in the rear wings. They just slot in on the tail end without any hassle. And then the rudder goes on at the end there. And then I'm moving on to the exhaust, and they're painted in Humbrol 53 gun metal. These are surprisingly quite large, so you have to make sure you push them right in for them to line up with the fuselage. The little probe goes on the tip of the wing here, and that's painted in Humbrol's 11 silver. Now this will be knocked off several times while I'm doing this. I generally just put these at the end, but just to show you that it's going on and placing it on now. So now it's time to put on the decals. There's not that many decals to go on here. Now you may notice I haven't varnished this before putting the decals on. This is deliberate because the way I'm putting this in the diorama, if it's marked the paint and everything, that is going to all add to the weathering. Now the decals are going on the normal way, and my solution is the microset solution that I'm placing on. This just helps it develop into the contours of your surface. And this will bring the Spitfire build to an end. Now, I'm not showing a final reveal of this one until it's in the dioramic, because it's all part of the 3-build process that I've got with the Hurricane and the refueling. So the actual final reveal will be on those dioramas, and there'll be separate videos for the dioramas as well, of course. So as I said at the start, this is a very quick build. This took me about 4.5 hours to build in total. Didn't take a long time to build. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds? If you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. That way you'll be kept up to date with all my future builds. Hit the like button, don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.